Us now, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're all good.
Yeah, I was trying to come in a little differently, and I come in from the regular phone. But anyway, we're here. Welcome everybody. How we doing, everybody? And let me make sure these settings are right here, and put us up here real quick. Give me 1 second. You guys hear our music in the background. Hopefully you do hear it. That's, we just want to keep it real today and tell you exactly how we do on Sundays and come from our home to yours. And I'm gonna getting a little warm in here, so let me turn the AC down real quick. 1 second, and we get us started over here.
Mr. Bugs, they are lighting up the chat.
They're lighting it up. Good. Well, turn this AC down here for a second. It's getting a little warm. We got all these lights over here so you can see us at least. There we go. A little bit of AC there. And in the front. All right, I'm gonna shut the music off as well, and then we'll get this party started. All righty, there we go. Well, good afternoon, everyone. I hope you had a chance to enjoy a little bit of our music every Sunday. Not every Sunday, but a lot of Sundays I wake up in the morning and I turn on my inspiration music. That was Marvin Sapp, Never Could Have Made It Without You. Perfect song for today. Never could have made it without you.
That's true.
That's true, right? But anyway, wanted to say welcome to our home. This show was called From Our Home to Yours. And this show really was just inspired by just seeing, people being at home right now. And many people are trapped and don't know what to do, watching so much television, doing whatever it is that they do, but not being able to communicate with their friends, with their families, whatever it may be. And so we wanted to do this show. So you want to greet them? And
Happy Sunday, everybody.
Sunday.
Well, I'm excited to have you guys in our home for even just a little while. We've been managing pretty well. I've been using this time wisely.
Speak for yourself.
You haven't been managing well?
No, I have not managed well. I have managed, but I just haven't done it well.
Well, I'm managing pretty well. I'm getting organized. I have taken this time for some much needed self-time. And self-care. So I'm actually feeling really great. I think that, life can get so busy sometimes, and there are so many things around the house that I just put off, and now I have the time to do it. So I'm pretty happy about that. Well,
I know I see boxes all over the place. They just delivered a new washing machine and dryer as I came back home. I went to Ed's house to go get some barbecue sauce.
Okay.
And some Ching Ching's barbecue. All right. We call it, Papa Adams barbecue sauce.
Our favorite sauce.
The best sauce in the world.
Right.
If you want to consider that an advertisement, you can consider that. But anyway, it's true. It's the best stuff in the world. I come back and I see this big truck look like she's about to move out.
Oh, Holton.
No, I see you come back, it's quarantine time, and you got there's this big 40-foot truck. And I'm like, okay, well, I know she hadn't spoken to me in the last few hours. I'll tell you all about that too. Andrea and Ed know, because I told them over there. They said, what are we going to talk about?
Well, they know you totally deserve it.
They said, what are y'all going to talk about? I'm like, I don't know. She's not talking to me. So I hope we have a show today. All right. But anyway, I come back, I see this 40-foot truck. And I'm like, okay, well, I know she ain't talking to me, but is she that fed up? She leaving? you know, what's going on? And I come in the
So
house.
you never know, right?
I have how many guys? Three guys in my house.
Two guys.
They haven't. Did you spray them down?
From Lowe's.
You didn't. Did you spray them down?
Well, they had on masks. And
did
gloves.
You check their temperature?
No, I didn't do all that. No.
Okay. And so I see two guys in my house delivering washing machines when I got a good set of washing machines and dryers already upstairs. And I'm like, why are they delivering washing machines? Ain't nobody washing.
Well, first of all, in my defense. Okay?
And she don't even wash.
No. In my defense, this Corona thing is going on. You know, we don't know if this thing gets into the clothes or, you know, I'm just thinking about you. Okay, so
you don't wash. I was fine with the washing machine
I do wash. Is Maria and them here? So that you think the clothes magically wash and fold themselves?
I haven't seen. Do you know how to work
listen, it? I needed an antibacterial setting on my washer and dryer, so now they have that setting. So of course, I mean, blame Corona because I feel like I needed that.
Ladies, and listen. All right, this show is already starting off.
You're the one who brought this.
It's already starting off on the wrong.
What do you want to talk about today? Surely we didn't get on here to talk about the washer and the dryer.
But it's happening. It just happened just now. I mean,
I needed that. I'm pretty sure all the ladies out there who are listening to my voice, they need a new washer and dryer because of these times. It's too stressful. You don't know if that stuff is airborne or staying in your clothes.
Dip your clothes in some Clorox or some.
How are you going to do that with clothes?
Or some Lysol. Just dip it in some, spray it down. Anyway,
Lysol. Okay.
Anyway.
I guess you can't tell why we've been married for 26 years because this is not going well.
Anyway, so let me get back to the matters at hand.
Please.
The true matters at hand.
Okay.
I was talking about this while we are doing this. We just wanted to come on and be real. I mean,
right.
We did. I'm telling you, we have not had one word about what we're going to talk about. We haven't. This ain't scripted.
So true.
This is not, okay, well, we're going to hit these points right here. And, she asked me earlier today. That was the only thing she said to me. So what's the topic?
First of see how you put that little twist on it. I did not have that tone.
That's how I heard it.
Yeah, that's how. See, that's why I feel judged.
Okay, so all right, so I got a topic.
Because in my mind, the way it sounded, the way that it came out to me was, honey, we probably should come up with some speaking points. Does that sound anything like what you said? That's not.
I never heard you say anything like that before. Honey, we probably should come up with some. It was like,
maybe I said my love.
No. You said, she looked at me and she said, so what's the topic? I don't know. Let's just get on there and let's talk to the people. I mean, there are people from our house to there. Or somebody said tone, okay? And that's
right. My tone was absolutely good.
Okay, all right. Well, anyway, it was that's. Fellas, okay, first of all, first topic right here. First topic. And I just want to know, is it, no, I'm not going to say is it me.
Yeah, because it is you.
No, I'm just going to say, do we hear differently than they speak?
Yes, absolutely. You don't need to ask anybody else that. I can tell you that. I can tell you the answer to that question.
I'm like, because I'm just wondering, is it me?
It is you.
Okay, I'm wondering, is it me? Because I don't want to cause any discourse because we coming from our house to yours, and we don't want to send no bad vibes over there and have y'all getting off this call saying, "I told you so, I told you, and you don't do this." That's not what it's all about. But guys, y'all know we just keep it real. Okay, we just keep it real. But I'm just wondering is how did I hear? What's the topic? How do we get from what's the topic to my love? I think we should come up with some topics for discussion. I mean, and even see how you're exaggerating because first of all, I think this is actually a good topic, communication between a man and a woman, because, men and women, we hear differently, we communicate differently, we think differently about a lot of things. But I was in the same room. I was there when you said it. You were, but you put my words through a filter.
And so because I wasn't talking to you, you automatically assumed that I had some kind of attitude or whatever. But
okay, so won't you tell the world, because I can't say tell America, because it's people here from America. Tell the world and be real. We got cameras, so I can rewind.
yeah, I don't have an issue being honest.
I know, but I can go rewind.
Rewind.
I want you, not this selective honesty. I want you to be real. These are your people here. So tell them exactly what you said. Exactly. I just want to know. I just want to.
My love.
You said my love?
I did.
You said my
You
love.
didn't hear that part.
You
Yeah.
said she hadn't spoken to me since yesterday, and you said my love?
Yeah, I did. Mhm.
Okay.
You just didn't hear that part. You skipped over that. I said,
Okay.
we may want to come up with a few speaking points. And you said, well, maybe not, because we could just get on and have it be organic. And I said, okay, so we didn't talk about anything else.
But the words my love came out of your mouth.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. All right.
So do you have a topic for the people? Because I
just asked the people a couple questions. But anyway, guys.
Did anybody respond?
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of responding going on. I don't know if this is on Facebook Live. I know we're on. Yeah, I don't want to take up all of this time on these
And
subjects.
see, somebody said, yes, she said my love. Of course I did. See, they know me well.
We are on Facebook Live.
We are on Facebook Live, so let me go. I'm going to go to the Facebook part if I can do it, just so I can see these comments, and I've got Mark we're gonna do some Q&A today too. And okay, there we go. All right, so I don't want to have the volume up. I'm turning the volume all the way down. Okay, there we go. So here we go. I got the Facebook right here.
Okay.
As
So
well.
this is where the questions are coming from.
So Mark is going to send questions.
Okay.
I want to do Facebook from your phone. Mark's sending the questions to me. Can we do that? Can we do that?
Yeah, sure.
My love. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I just want to make sure.
Somebody said, Jesus, take the wheel. Now you feeling me.
So
Back with Mr. Wimbrey.
tell him, don't get him started right now. Just tell him, sit down somewhere right now.
I'm pretty sure he's on my side.
Right. But he better be on my side. Anyway, there we go. Okay. So I'm off of the Facebook. So I'm going to put mine on the WhatsApp, because Mark is going to be sending me some questions there, but he can hear me now. Anyway, hopefully you guys can hear us good. That's kind of, it's kind of typical around what we call the Bugs Mahal here. We actually renamed the house Legacy.
We did.
We renamed the house Legacy. Maybe one of these episodes we'll get into that, but we know many of you right now are at home, and you are kind of sequestered. And I want to ask you a question. What's been the best thing you've done to kind of get through? I know you told us you got organized and all this stuff, but what have you done? What's been your coping mechanism, so to speak? And how are you really feeling? I mean, sometimes we do get down. I don't want people to think that everybody's always up and that everybody's so chipper 100% of the time. I mean,
Right.
just what have you done to deal with this?
Well, I mean, I've always made it a habit of prayer and meditation every morning, and when I wake up, and I do some stretching
And camera,
exercises.
just so you
This
know,
is the camera.
up there, yeah, up
You
there,
got so much going on.
right up there, right
Okay,
up there.
right up there.
Yeah, talk to the people right there.
Okay, so every morning, I've been doing this for years, honestly. I do prayer and meditation for about 15 minutes in the morning, and then I take the time out to do some personal growth and some stretching. So since I've been at home and not able to move around in my normal life, sometimes I do feel a little tired or whatever. So I've been exercising a lot more. So I go on my 3-mile walk every day, and I also ride my Peloton. And like I said, I do the exercise. But there are some times I get a little stressed out, because it's one thing to have a beautiful house. This is not a bad thing or not a bad place to be stuck in, honestly. There's a lot of light that comes through here. It's, the space is big enough, but even still, just not being restricted and not being able to go out and move around, it is a little bit stressful. And, I have been concerned about, my parents and, just people that we have that are older, and, just wanting to make sure that they're okay. I kind of get the sense that some people don't really take this serious until until they get that phone call with somebody they know and love that is suffering with this virus. So, you know, I've just been trying to keep a positive mental attitude and keep somewhat of a routine.
Okay. Well, no, I see that. And I'm almost the opposite. I mean, I have a routine, but I don't thrive on routine.
Sure.
And that's why I have a lot of my great moments. But to be candid with you, sometimes I feel like I'm going out of my mind. I don't care how big this house is. It has nothing to do with the size, in my opinion, for me. It's not about that, you know. It's I have to be around people.
Right.
And so you can put me in a shopping mall.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's nobody there, I feel like I'm in a big prison. And so I think what I do when I get up in the morning, and I do my Peloton. I would love to say every day, but I don't. I do it probably maybe twice a week so far.
Right.
Twice a week. But I do my Peloton. I have intentions on doing it. I think about it a lot. I really think about my Peloton a lot.
Yeah, thoughts are things.
Yeah. Anyway, so I make me a cup of coffee. I come down in the morning and I listen to the inspirational call.
Yes.
I've only missed one. I only missed one inspirational call. And when I missed that one, I went back and re-listened to it, which is really good. And then I start my day with, I kind of walk outside. I'm one of those, when I'm on the phone, I have to pace back and forth. And so I'm either outside or whatever it is. But what I've done a lot of is communication. I feel like, now here's what I feel. I feel like I've never worked this hard before.
Wow, that's interesting.
We have gotten so much done because we had to reshape, we reshaped everything and we didn't have like all of this time to do it.
Right.
And so we had to grab the team, get together, this call, and orchestrate everything and make it look as if you're a duck on the water, but down below you just scurrying like crazy. We make it look easy, not pretending, but we just make it look easy. But it's been tough, and we've been working our butts off.
Yeah. Well, how has that been? Because the difference between me and you is that you thrive and get your energy off of being around other people. I'm the exact opposite.
Right.
I grew up as an only child, even though
that's why I can't have no visitors. So I don't have friends.
Is this gang up on Earlene Day? Because I swear I just can't catch a break.
I'm just telling the people.
That is
they want to know what's happening. They want to know what's going on in this house.
You can't have visitors because of Corona. That's why you can't. I mean, have you heard of this little thing called social distancing? We're supposed to be staying sequestered.
So why don't you sit over there? And I said,
well, it doesn't do us any good. We're sharing the same air in here, but don't interrupt me. Just try to listen. So what was I saying?
You were saying that I can have people come over today and tomorrow.
What I was saying was you thrive off of community. And I'm just opposite because I grew up as an only child. I thrive in silence and in my alone time. That's where I get my inspiration. And so, it's been really good for me and cathartic for me in a lot of ways. But I know that you have a hard time with this.
I do, yeah. It bothers me.
Yeah, it bothers you, but you're going to be okay because you're a big boy, right?
Well, it's tough. I'm serious. It's tough. So that's why I'm like, but I think that's why I've been on so many calls. So when I look at a computer screen, mm-hmm. and like I just did a call with Cesar Munoz had, I think it was like 1,700 connections on a call.
Oh, wow.
And
awesome.
I had it was like life for me. Mm-hmm. It was like, I have my ups, I have my downs, but I choose to only have down moments. I choose not to stay down. So right. I can be down, but I got on that call and I never know what I'm going to say, but I shared some stories with people.
Mhm.
And one of the things I shared was, for me, and I don't make light of it, guys. We joke a lot, but I don't make light of it. But the effects of coronavirus is not new. And the effects of it, social distancing, people don't want to be around you. You're in-house, can't go anywhere. Well, so the effects of coronavirus happened to us 20-something years ago.
What do you mean?
When we were $250,000 in debt, 45 days away from foreclosure. Every time I want to call somebody to borrow money, they social distance themselves. Nobody wanted to come visit.
That's called avoidance.
Nobody wanted to come. Nobody wanted to come visit. I felt sequestered. I didn't have any money. Couldn't go anywhere. Sticking at home, and I still couldn't have visitors because they knew I was going to ask them, to help me out with my situation at that time. So nobody came over to the house. So it's the same thing.
It was probably the same result, but it's totally not.
It's the same. It's the exact same effects that we are feeling right now with this social distancing thing. Now, some of you got questions over here, and I tell you this, guys, and we say this, that there is, and we say this with all sincerity, but it doesn't matter the size of your house or the, whatever it is. We all feel this stuff the same,
True.
Yeah, the house may have a lot more than we used to have before, but pain is pain. Bigger house don't take away pain.
Well, okay, so
let's discuss that for real. Let's be real.
I mean, because I can't even imagine the families right now who are out there and they're either in a small 1-bedroom apartment or maybe 1,000, 2,000 square foot place, and you got yourself, your husband, maybe you have other people in your household, and maybe 2, 3 kids. I do feel like having space and size and having a lot of light come in the room is much more enjoyable than being in a confined space with not enough room.
Okay, well that's a perspective, because here's why I say it's a perspective. Because if we're in a when you say 1,000 to 2,000 square foot, there's some people that's listening right now says, wow, there's people average people live in things larger, 1,000 to 2,000 square feet. Because we got people listening in from London right now. 2,000 square feet is huge for a lot of those people. Over in New York, that's like 2,000 square feet. You can't be in New York City. 2,000 square feet, it costs a lot of money.
Right.
2,000 square feet,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but you look at our son. He's in LA.
Mm-hmm.
He just moved. But think about it. He was in what, 800 square feet,
Mm-hmm.
800 square feet. But it becomes normal. You become normalized to that, and so it doesn't hurt more or feel that much better because we've been on both sides. And here, yeah, we've got a lot of space here, and we have options to go here and go there. But I'm just telling you, I still feel the same, I believe, as if I was in the home that the first home that we had.
Well, I just feel, I guess what I'm saying is it's one of those things that I have to be grateful for, I feel, because, I've been in such a small space before, and, and it's been a lot more difficult to cope, with me. I like space. I like an organized space. I don't like a lot of furniture.
Mm-hmm.
I have felt confined and, very anxious and anxiety because I've been in a room with not enough light, with it's too much furniture. The furniture is too big. It's not spaced correctly. So all I'm saying is it could be worse. I just try to find ways to be grateful for my situation.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And because it's right now, it's nothing I can do about it.
Right.
I got a nice big patio. I can walk out there if I want to. I can sit in this room. It's just like being outside. We can open up the glass windows.
So what would you recommend to somebody who's sitting there saying, man, I'm in an apartment building in a high rise or wherever they may be, maybe not, high rise, it may be something small. They may be sharing a room. They may be sitting in 600 square feet.
Mm-hmm.
how do they make the best of that?
Well, I think you just have to find a way to be grateful for what you have in your surroundings. Because I mean, either way, further to your point, whether you're in 600 square feet or 6,000 square feet, if you're the type of person that doesn't thrive in a confined environment, the experience is going to be the same. But in my case, it's just one of those things I tried to grab a hold of and tell myself, I could focus on the fact that I can't go outside, or I could focus on being grateful for where I am right now. And it's much further along than where we used to be. At least I'm comfortable. I'm in a place that I love to be in. Some people, and this is in all fairness, they weren't very happy living in the home that they were living in, or going home every day. It has nothing to do with Corona. So just being able to, or not being used to spending this much time with your significant other, we could be about to kill each other. And you and I don't have that situation. Well, you don't have a reason to want to kill me, but of course I feel like I have dozens of reasons to want to kill you. But
I played golf yesterday, and she told, who you playing golf with? And then no.
I said it like that though.
Yeah, it was worse than that.
Here again.
It was, who you playing golf with? Hold on for a second. Can I just tell my story?
Go ahead.
Who you playing golf with? Playing with, George and the other guys I don't know. What do you think that's a smart decision to be out there playing some golf? You can go out there and get that Corona and come back here and get me sick, and then it went on. I don't know what she said after that, because
I don't understand what I said that was wrong.
Golf, listen, all right, here's the thing. Fellas, where's Spencer Robinson when I need him right now?
Well, first of all,
no. She is. Somebody said she's right.
Exactly. Of course I'm right. I'm always right.
Mark, delete Miss Diva's comments. just block her right now, okay? Block Miss Diva, okay? No, but hold on for a second, guys. I wish I could turn this camera around and show y'all this golf. Listen, let me show you something. Golf right now is probably the safest outside thing you can do. Why? We're each in a separate golf cart. When I hit the ball, it's going to go this way. When he hit the ball, it goes that way. We don't even come nowhere within 6 feet of one another. And so he's on his ball, I'm on my ball, and when you're out there, you forget about Corona. You detach from everything else. It's a big de-stressor. And this is why my golf course right now is completely full right now. You can't even get a tee time at my own country club. Look at how many people do you see close within 6 feet of each other?
Well, those people that just got off the same.
But look, if they were on separate carts, how far? Just tell the people how far are they right now?
Well, right now, I don't know how many feet that is. I don't know feet.
That's a long way away.
Yeah, it's a long way away, but they got off the same cart. You see,
but I said we on separate cart. They probably live together.
This is a mute point. Okay, when was this? Yesterday?
I'm waiting for Spencer. Spencer Allison, pop up, please.
This is in the past. We need to move on.
A Super E. Where's Emmanuel?
I'm not even mad about that anymore.
Okay, but anyway, so that's why there was no conversation. But I got a question for you. Okay, yes, I got a question for you, because I don't want to keep these people here all day long. I want to be wrapping this up here shortly. Okay. Somebody says ladies play golf too. Mike and I were on the golf course yesterday. Golf is great for social distancing. That came from Debbie Kithcart.
Oh, that's nice. I mean, because they follow the rules.
I'm sure Debbie took Mark's phone and typed that in. I'm just saying. I think that was Debbie Kithcart, not Mark. Anyway,
no, that was not Debbie. I'm pretty sure of it.
So I got a question, and I'm gonna read a couple questions in here. Mm-hmm.
What?
In all caps, it did not come from Debbie. Okay. So I got a question for you.
Yes.
Since we're talking about this stuff, let's share this, because I think we've got an audience that's mature enough that we can be real with.
Well, I'm still waiting on my apology from yesterday. So.
For me playing golf?
Yeah, just for you hearing me wrong. When I just had, I had concerns. I'm allowed to be concerned right now.
Okay.
I mean, in case you haven't been watching the news, it's the whole pandemic going on right now, and the whole point is to be social distance. I don't play golf, so I don't understand what's going on the golf course.
So that's when the question should come. my love.
No,
that should have been like this.
I did ask who
my
your
love,
parents
my
are.
love. Can you tell me, are there any safety measures that are practiced when engaging in the game of
That
golf?
is unrealistic.
You
I don't even talk like that.
Okay, so anyway, here's the question. Super E just sent me. Super E says, I'm with your bugs 100%.
On which point?
Oh, he's social distancing on the golf course. You don't even see each. Look at the ladies. Look at the ladies over there.
I see her.
They're 15, 30 yards apart.
Well, if you weren't so busy hearing me wrong, you could have explained that instead of getting frustrated.
Okay, anyway, here's the question I want to ask.
Mm-hmm.
With, you've got on social media, and I kind of posted about this.
Okay.
What's that balance between being grateful that you have achieved what you've achieved?
Yes.
And then you have some who are in that process,
right,
and some who are not in the process, but some who are in the process and they feel like if you mention something, or some will look at our house right now through this camera, I can't believe they showed their house when people are, over here starving. What's that balance between that? Because I want to give our people a perspective on how to deal with that. Because you have a lot of people who, I had a lady on my post and she was positive. It was a great engagement, but because I wanted to learn more from her, but she says, in this moment right here, there was so many, with so many people suffering, I just have a big problem with the Birkin bag challenge, which I don't know what the Birkin bag challenge is. I guess it was people who, I don't know, something to do with if you have a Birkin bag or whatever it is. I have a problem with the Birkin bag challenge. So I want to ask your perspective on seeing the side of it, because neither is right or wrong. But
yeah, it's just
how do you balance that perspective? Because I wanted to learn more from her about why she thinks a person who's doing a Birkin bag challenge is insensitive because she lost her job. Specifically when they don't know her. Because she says, I lost my job. It's on my post. I lost my job and I don't know when this is going to happen. But my question is, and I don't want to really, it's hard for us to really engage in that because I would need somebody or her from her perspective to speak for her side, but just kind of give us a balance of that. What you think, just from your thoughts, because it happens a lot.
So you're saying a person feeling like we would be bragging or boasting or just being insensitive at this critical time, posting about material things. That's your question?
Well, it's not even posting about material things. Sometimes other people make it about material things. So for example, I look at it like you say, well, I've got a nice big patio. So a person who right now who don't have a patio could look at it and say, hey, I don't have a patio. I lost my job. I'm going to get evicted. And here she is talking about her patio. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
kind of give that perspective from what you think.
Well, and from my perspective, we've been on both sides. So I know what it's like to have very little, next to nothing. And I know what it's like to have an abundance enough that you can share with other people. I do think that this is a matter of perspective and a matter of philosophy, because when I didn't have very much, I can honestly say I probably would have been one of those people that would be like, how dare they talk about everything that they have? Because you see the world through your own experience. And so that I can relate to that as well. At the same time, the world goes on and everybody has a different lens. So it's all about stages of life. So of course I'm going to be a little bit sensitive if I'm dealing with a financial challenge and then I have to watch other people win. But I think that there is a very good philosophy on that we have to be congratulatory and just as happy for other people when we are losing and they're winning, because the pendulum of life, it swings back and forth.
Right.
So just because people don't have my same results at this point in my life, maybe a lot of people don't have a big patio. I didn't even think about that. It's just my life, and I feel like we have sacrificed so much and been through so many ups and downs. I would never let anybody make me feel bad about the things that I enjoy at this point in my life, because, you know, we did it with a purpose. And the thing that I'm most proud about our success is that we had to bring a whole lot of people along with us. We didn't get here by ourselves, and we didn't get here for ourselves.
Right.
So for just ourselves and our family, you know, there are a lot of families who have been touched by this whole thing. So to answer your question, you know, when I didn't have very much, I was so grateful for the people in this world who had a lot and who could give me a glimmer of hope that I could change my life, and that I could get on the other side of money.
Right.
And now that I have an abundance, I am grateful that I'm in a position to be able to give another person that same glimmer of hope.
Right.
That hasn't always been my purpose, but it is today. And I just think we, you know, I look at this whole Corona thing as a big social experiment. I think it's gonna bring us closer together as a people. It's gonna make us much more tolerant. And I think that it's a choice whether we look at somebody's actions and we see the negative side of it, or we look at their actions and say, you know what, that can be me in a year or 2 or 12 months, 18 months, 5 years from now, whatever the case is. So I know when I first got started on social media, this is the last thing I'll say, I was very apprehensive about, that's why it took me so long. I think maybe I've been on social media about 5 years now, because we were in.
Yeah, I think it's maybe, if that.
Well, I was apprehensive.
Let's say 5 years, yeah.
I was apprehensive for this very reason, because I never wanted to come across like I was bragging or, you know, or just like I was better than anybody else. And, you know, that was a real concern for me. And I think I dealt with, you know, a little bit of feeling guilty about my success, because there are still a lot of people around me and people that I love that don't have the same results. So I never wanted to be throwing anything in anybody's face, but there's another side to that. When you're a leader and when you have been blessed with so much, there are other people that are looking to you for hope and encouragement. So the question then becomes, how do you balance that? How do you balance being, you know, I consider myself to be the type of person that's humble on purpose.
Right.
You know, and then being willing to, it's, you know, there's a fine line between giving people hope and then oversharing. So I'd like to know your perspective on that.
Well, all right. I think what you said is helps a lot of people. And it's true. You know, that perspective is true. Because I know you, I know where you come from. We've been together since she was 12 and I was 13. So I know our beginnings. And for a while, I was guilty as well. For a while, you know. So when people see me do #freedom,
right?
You know, you know what that's about. But it's not about I can buy what I want to buy. Money is not the freedom. It's freedom from being in bondage of others' expectations. Because it took me to 42 years old before I became free. I was 42 when I got free. I was 41 years old, and I still was a slave to the expectation of other people, it was the puppet master thing.
Right.
And they'll, if you're successful, they'll make you feel bad. If you're unsuccessful and broke, when I was broke, and repossession and foreclosure and all of this, they judge you. Oh, you don't pay your bills. You don't make enough money. You need to get a real job. And so no matter what you do, you were always going to be excoriated for where you are. And it took me to 42 to say, I don't care. I got to give y'all, the Facebook word for I don't care. All right. All right. So, and because what some people would rather they would rather see you post a picture of maybe a secondhand Dooney and Burke. I don't even say Dooney. I don't want to give labels really, but they would rather see you post a bag that nobody knows what it is than post a picture with a Birkin And then they'll use that to say, how dare you post a picture with a Birkin? And it's not about her. I'm just giving example of this lady. How dare you post a picture of a Birkin bag when there's so many starving children in the world? Here's my perspective. The person with the Birkin, or the guy with the Rolls Royce or the Mercedes, or the lady with the nice diamonds, them sacrificing from buying those things don't feed children.
Right. Right. And,
Okay.
and whether they posted it or not, they still have it.
Right.
So.
They still have it. Right. So us not, and I'll put us in this, us not having just this little part of our house here in the background. If we turned the camera around and went to a wall that didn't have any art on it, and I went to a clean wall, they'd be satisfied because it won't show what you have. But that doesn't feed children. You know what feed children? People who go out and make things happen.
Right.
And so that's where that balance is. And sometimes this audience is sometimes biased to us because I know you guys support us, but there's, I want to get sometimes into the mind and have conversation. I even had I'll show you right here. I was about to, and let me see where this lady is here on this post. Because she, I want to show you here. I was actually texting her. And let me see. Well, I was responding to her comment.
Right.
I was responding to her comment, and what I was trying to do was really invite a conversation. I think it's this text. Yeah.
Ooh.
This is it right here.
Okay.
And so let me see if it's still there. No,
That's
it's
a
not there anymore.
soliloquy.
Anyway, I mean, it was, she says, I partially agree, but I mostly disagree. Most aren't unhappy or negative. I think they're just realizing that we followed and made a lot of corporations and people rich that really don't care about the little guys, the bottom line, and the people we devalue and taken for granted are the ones risking it all to assist and putting their lives and families on the line to save ours. Now, and this is, I'm just being candid, this is unfair because she's not here to defend herself.
I mean, we're just talking about
Yeah, we're just talking.
though.
But that perspective is not about this lady, because I thought I was so grateful to get for her to share. But that's another perspective, that people think that if you're successful or rich, that those that you've employed made you rich.
Right. Or that you did it on the backs of somebody else. Right.
And I do want people understanding that, there's this need for, we are interdependent. Mm-hmm. A corporation needs employees.
Right.
The employees need a dreamer.
Right.
Okay. But there is a thing of the chicken and the egg, because if the dreamer didn't come first and invest, mm-hmm. that opportunity for the person to have work wouldn't be there. And the job position is not designed to get wealthy. Mm-hmm. That position is just not. And I talk about this with Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal, right now earns about, a lot of money, millions and millions and millions of dollars per month. He's done extremely well. But when Shaquille O'Neal signed up to become a Florida police officer, he was making $50,000 a year. Because that's what that position pays.
Right. It has nothing to do with his worth.
Had nothing to do with his worth and his value. Mm-hmm. It was just, that's what he wanted to do.
Right.
It is to be a police officer and do that. And sometimes people think that just because you're successful, that you're always beating down on the people who are entry level or medium level, people who work for the company. Mm-hmm. And I just want to be honest and tell you guys, that's not the majority of companies.
Right.
It's the same thing. You hear it in the music industry when people, you always hear, well, this person got a bad music deal. They signed a bad deal. The record label took advantage of them. Your song went off and went 10 times platinum, and you only made $500,000. Who took advantage of who? Everybody thinks the record label took advantage of the other person. Well, what if the record label hadn't invested that money? But what if that record would have busted?
And the vast majority of records do bust, and they don't make anything.
They don't make nothing.
They don't make a dime. All right.
Can you go to the artist and say, hey, listen, we lost $1 million promoting your album, so pay us some? No, you can't. So when it does hit, you know.
When it hits, you were taking advantage of.
Right. When it hits, you were taking advantage of. But when it doesn't hit.
Yeah. It was just, it's okay.
Yeah. So it's just two perspectives on that. And I don't know. That's just my thing. We've got 8 more minutes here.
But I appreciate that dialogue, because I think it's okay. There's enough room in this world for us to have different perspectives. Like I said before, we are all not on the same level in life. We don't have the same experiences, and you view the world through your own experience. There's nothing wrong with that. But also, a part of being a mature adult and being responsible is to understand that there is more than one valid perspective. And when it comes to social media, I've always tried, I can be controversial on my social media all the time. I talk about my real life, real time experiences many of the times. And, that's just what I choose to do on my platform. But I don't ever make it a habit of going to somebody else's page and being negative and demeaning and insulting. I think that there is a line between us, sharing our philosophies and then trying to bring somebody else down. Mm-hmm. So I think in terms of being respectful, I think the great thing about sharing your perspective in a respectful way is that other people benefit from the dialogue, and we can have a conversation that actually moves forward instead of us judging each other, taking out the time to just to understand that, there's a whole big world out here, and there's a whole lot other experiences than just our own.
True. I agree 100%. And, I just want people to just sometimes stop and think that just, there's something that we learned a long time ago is don't tear down the fences until you know why they were put up. Okay. And sometimes if you're only on the employee side, and you've never owned a company with employees, you don't know what it's like.
Right.
You don't know, I've heard somebody say, oh yeah, you're taking all of this money from these people with these subscriptions. We haven't even taken a salary yet. We don't have to brag about it. But all of our employees, none of them have to worry about what's going on with Corona and whether they're going to get laid off and whether or not they're going to be able to take care of their families. And we've had some employees, we say, don't come to work. These are these are ones who can't even work from home because they can't do their job from home. And we're still paying them, but those are the stories that they don't know, because they just look and see you have lifestyle, this stuff, whatever it may be. And they say, oh, you got people working for you. You must be taking advantage of it. And that just, I guess that's one of my things that just bothers me. But now I don't give a rip. I don't care. I'm free. I'm free from it. I don't let anybody make me feel any kind of way anymore. I used to. One question somebody had, we got 5 minutes left here. Let's answer a couple questions here. Okay. How do we balance business and marriage? How do we balance business and marriage? You want to take that? You want me to take it?
I don't know if we're doing a good job, to be honest.
Hey, ask us after Corona, see if we make it. Okay. I was talking to Andrea Haynes. Andrea Haynes, she told me, she said, she read a statistic. She said the divorce rate is going up 75%.
Oh, people are sequestered. How are they getting divorced?
She said that the lawyers are taking the money over the phone. People are getting virtual divorces.
I don't know about that.
No, I'm serious. I'm telling you. I was over there. Ed was over there barbecuing.
Oh, wow.
And I went to get the barbecue sauce, and we were talking about it. I couldn't believe it, but that's why I say, ask us after Corona.
Well, no, we're going to be fine through Corona. We face much more stringent circumstances than just Corona, and we survive poverty. We're going to be just fine. Well, let me just take a stab at that. I mean, I feel like that's not a question that you can answer just with there are so many factors. factors into making a relationship successful. But in terms of business, I think one of the things that I'm very proud of us on, we actually do enjoy each other's company. I know it may have not looked like it during this episode, but I actually like him a whole lot, and love him even too. But you know, I think that we make each other a priority. I think we've always, you know, had our date nights, and you know, we vacation together, you know. And I think that you have to, when you do business together, that sometimes he comes home, he's had a really stressful day, and maybe I've got a whole lot of things going on, and you know, you have to take that time out to stop and figure out what you actually need from each other in that moment. Because you know, sometimes, you know, he wants the executive vice president of his company when he comes home, and then sometimes he wants his wife. So, you know, it's
if I had a hard day, I don't want my executive vice president.
right.
Don't ask me about what you get done at the office today. Did this get done? Did that get done? Did this get done? I want my wife, who is not a part of the operations of the business. What's your title again?
I'm the executive vice president.
Okay, because she told me she's
really
the
your
CEO's boss, right? This is what she told me. I didn't know if they had a title for it, but anyway. But so that's the balance. There's no balance really. There's a balance, but there's no balance. You can't juggle things and balance when you got a big dream and because things change all the time. So it's kind of like, you ever played that game Whack-A-Mole, or it's like juggling plates.
Yeah.
Okay, and so. Or spinning plates. So when I spin a plate over here, I got to get that. And this spinning plate over here, this is emotional time. And then I got to come over here and spin this plate. And this plate over here is personal or home business time, where we got to get business stuff. So I'll spin that plate. And then I got to come over here and I got to spin that plate. And that is executive time for my ibuumerang executives. And then I got to come spin this plate. And that is with our ambassadors and the distributors that I have. But when I'm spinning this plate, this first plate that is at home, it's now wobbling a little bit. So I got to come back over here and spin that plate a little bit more. And it's my job to pay attention to which plate do I need to touch right now. Okay. And because my job is, I got to make sure that this plate here doesn't fall. And so I got to put some attention on that plate. You know, she likes to go walking at night. I like to walk in the morning. Well, I got to juggle that and say, okay, well, let me just walk and let me take what I need to do at night, put it in the morning. And that's just touching her plate a little bit more. And so it's how we do it. It's what you do and how we do it.
Well, you know, it's just a matter of being attentive to one another and paying attention, because, you know, we don't live an average lifestyle. So the sacrifice is not going to be average.
No, it's not.
And that's okay too. It's just, you know, it takes a bit of selflessness and being able to step outside of yourself and realize that you're living with somebody else and you have a responsibility to fulfill those needs. And it's not always easy, because just like he's saying, I didn't always know how to shift gears with him, because sometimes he comes home and he's a CEO, he's a mentor and a coach. And sometimes I just want my husband. Okay. I don't want a mentor right now. And I don't want you trying to fix me and everything and everybody around me. Can you just listen? So the other thing I found to make our communication much more strong and effective is understanding how to communicate what I need and not being afraid to ask for what I need. With women, sometimes we assume that people are supposed to be able to read our minds. No, you gotta use your words and understand how to do that effectively so that you can elicit the response and the action that you want. So those are just a couple of points, but it just, you know, anything else? Another question?
Well, I think that was the only question that Mark gave. So we won't take any more time for any more questions. A couple things here real quick. First of all, I want to say that I've enjoyed the session here. Mm-hmm. This was therapeutic.
Really? Have you learned anything?
Yes.
Oh.
Emmanuel Bernstein said he agrees with me.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
So you didn't learn anything.
See, you didn't see what I'm saying?
Right, go ahead,
see what I'm saying?
I'm not going to interrupt.
He said he agrees with me 100%. But Bugs, you still need to apologize.
Yeah, I'm waiting on that apology now. I've been very patient.
So on behalf, let me see if I can unplug this the computer here. on behalf of everybody.
No.
I mean, in front of everybody.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll take that.
Okay, in front of everybody. Hold on, let me decide what I'm sorry for. What am I apologizing? What did I do that was wrong? I went to play golf. So what? I just honestly, I want to know, what did I do that was wrong?
When you apologize, y'all know what you're apologizing for. So you decide which thing, exactly what thing are you sorry for?
I'm sorry that I left the house to play golf without giving you a proper understanding of social distancing responsibility measures that I was going to take to protect you and make you feel safe.
Well, I'll take that.
Does that
See
work?
how easy that was?
Does that work?
Yeah, that works.
Can I have a kiss?
No.
I'm gonna take it.
No, you're taking me too fast.
I'll take it, okay? So, guys, well, you know what? I thank you guys for tuning in to our show. And I can't wait to see you guys next Sunday. We've got more that's going to be coming, a lot of shows that's going to be coming up. Don't forget tomorrow morning, okay? That tomorrow morning we have our workout show that's going to start tomorrow, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. Our Boom Fit is the name of that show. And be ready, 7 o'clock a.m. I'm going to be on there. Have your boom gear on. I'm going to be ready to rock and roll. And I'm going to leave you guys a little bit more with my song here as we close out. But from our house to yours, we love you guys.
Boom.
Boom.
Great big old ibuumerang hug. Mwah.
Never could have made it without you. This is my stuff. Sunday mornings, I'm telling you. Sing it one more time. Sing it one more time. Sing, baby. Let them hear you sing, baby. Come on, let them hear you sing. I'm gonna lead you. Never would have made it. Come on, sing it. Tell them. Never would have made it. See you guys. Love you. Bye-bye.